Diaspora Spotlight Show. Hi everyone, my name is Liz and welcome to Diaspora Spotlight. This is actually our very first show and I'm excited to have with me today VIVIAN OKOJIE. VIVIAN is an entrepreneur based here in Houston, Texas. She's from Kogi State, Nigeria originally. She's been in the US for about 20 years and has lived in Houston for 10 years. And she's also a mother. She has 2 boys. And I'm just fascinated because somehow she manages to do many things during her day and also have time to come to this interview with us today. So I'm very happy to have her here. Welcome, Vivian.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, my pleasure. Yes, so Vivian, so you mentioned that, okay, so you are an entrepreneur and you recently launched an app, or you are preparing for the official launch of this app called Obella. Okay, please tell me more about that.
So Obella is actually a wearable and it comes with an app, and the idea came when my little sister in Nigeria kept having miscarriages, and so she would call me because she didn't know when the baby should move and she was confused about what to expect as a new mom that is pregnant, and so but at 12 weeks she lost the baby, and so I thought there should be a better way for a pregnant woman to monitor her health all throughout her pregnancy. As well, when I was pregnant with my second baby, I had preeclampsia and high blood pressure, and it was such a terrible time. And for most pregnant women that are probably listening, they've had maybe issues that they had to go to the doctor. And so Obella B basically helps you monitor your health and the baby's health all throughout your pregnancy. It monitors your blood pressure, your temperature, movements, kicks, and helps you with vital information through the app and the community.
Okay. Wow. Well, that sounds like a product that's very much needed. I've never had kids yet, but I'm sure when I do now, I'll be
you will need Obella.
Very prepared to take the Obella. Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, you had a personal story, I believe, behind it. Like, what inspired the name Obella?
Actually, Obella came from a little town. So when I decided to do this thing, and I wrote all this capabilities that I wanted to perform, I just knew I wanted it to be a wearable. I wanted it to help out and to save millions of children, hopefully. And I kind of Googled, I went online. I wanted it to be as African and as authentic as possible. So I didn't want to come up with any generic names. And so I Googled village names in Africa, particularly in Nigeria. And then I found out that in a little town somewhere around Plateau and Calabar, all those areas, there's a little town called Obelle. And
really? I've never heard of that, actually.
Obelle. And so when I approached the team, I actually gave them Obelle, but somehow they mistyped it and it now became Obella. So it's actually from a little town in Nigeria.
Okay. It's funny that they mistyped it and now that became your name.
Yeah, Obella. Yes.
That was a good one. Okay. Nice. So, so in addition to this app, you also have a lifestyle website?
Yes, DesignLife. So online, if you're ever on my social media page, I don't know what most people use their social media pages for. For me, it's either business or to inspire. I love to inspire. I believe I've been called to motivate and to inspire others. So that's my own little way of giving back. And so I always post articles or posts or share videos that are inspirational. So about 2-3 years ago, I created a Facebook group called DesignLife. So I would share videos and do all sorts of just kind of share things. And last year I actually had an event called the Bloom event, where a group of women, we came together and it was really beautiful just to inspire each other. And with that also I had a 21 days fearless challenge where I did things that I normally wouldn't do. Eating competition, I went to the shooting range.
Oh, wow.
That was my first time. My first time shooting, it was scary. I thought I would die, but yeah, but it was fun. My mom called from Nigeria. I was like, what are you doing? But it was amazing. I had a great time. So with that, I wanted to just inspire other people. So I decided that this year to create an online platform, a lifestyle platform, to kind of just share articles and write articles, share videos, and we have a DesignLife TV just online on there for people to kind of learn more from other people doing amazing things. We also have a DesignLife Academy, because right now I do teach a class on monetize everything, how you could turn anything into cash. So there've been days where I probably needed extra cash. And I was okay, what can I do? What can I do? And I would come up with something and email people, and before you know it, I have maybe, hundreds of dollars in my account, or $2,000, just like that. And so I want people to use your brain and not just waiting for a 9 to 5 or waiting for one uncle or one aunt to help them, or because it can be very hard in America. So having skill sets that could get you money, it's important to me. So I wanted to create DesignLife Academy, that way I could teach more of those classes over time.
Okay, well, that would be definitely very useful. We could all use some extra cash.
Yes, we do. Yeah, one of our students actually made 100,000 naira in one day, because I taught her, okay, well, what can you do apart from your job to make money? And she created a coconut oil line, and then we helped her market it. And in one day, $100,000. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, not dollars, naira, sorry.
Naira. Okay, so you teach a class overseas?
Yeah, so I have my class, I have people from Cameroon and Nigeria and Ghana, and also people here.
Okay, so anyone can sign up.
Anyone can sign up. Yeah, it's online.
Okay, wow. And we'll be sure to include the link at the end of the segment as well, so you can check it out. All right, and in addition to this website and app, you are also a published author. So you have a few books.
Yes.
Already.
Yes, I did. Some of the books I would rather mention right now. It's my Say Yes to Life book, and it's just about living your purpose. And most of us come to earth with a purpose, with an assignment. And so in that book, I talk about saying yes to love, to God, to your purpose, and living your best life. I also have a book called I Can Invent Things for little kids, especially little girls, to teach them that you can be an inventor, you can do amazing things, you can build apps, you could create solution and become a problem solver.
Wow, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a great way to inspire young girls.
Thank you.
To do it all. Yeah, and because it's interesting, growing up, as a woman, usually we are raised to think that we're supposed to do certain roles, like be a nurse, be a teacher. But nowadays with technology, that's
and it's amazing. A lot of African women are gravitating towards technology and science, and so it's good to encourage that, because we are not just, it's amazing. I could cook. I love to cook. I'm not a woman that would say my place is not in the kitchen. I love to serve my husband. I would kneel down if I have to. But I also do love other things. I love to express myself, and technology is definitely a great way to do that. So.
Wow. Well, that's good to know. So who knows? Maybe you'll have a cooking tutorial next. So
you never know.
Right. Okay. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is your motivational speaking.
Yeah.
So you are also a speaker. I know you've spoken at a few events in Houston.
Yes.
Well. So tell us about that.
So I love speaking, and I've done it for about, I would say professionally, maybe over 15 years. And I started in Florida, and I used to speak for the Department of Health. And I go to schools to talk about abstinence, waiting till after marriage to have sex. And so I also wrote a book then called My Virginity is Ruining My Sex Life. And so, not anymore to me. I wrote it a long time ago. So, but I would, they would pay me to go speak at these schools, and so it was fun. I think My first gig was to go speak at a high school. All expenses paid, $1,500, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. So I just enjoy speaking, and since then I speak whatever I'm able to, maybe at an event or online. Sometimes I do live videos just to share my thoughts. It's important to always express yourself and be authentic and not hide behind a shadow. I think the African culture usually appreciates silence more than speaking out, and so I kind of defy that odd because I love to speak my mind and I love to express myself the best way I can. So.
That's great, and it sounds like you're defying a lot of odds. Yeah. So speaking of which, like, okay, so you did move here from Nigeria. So you were born in Nigeria, raised there, lived there for part of your life. So when you came here, do you feel that overall perhaps you had to work harder than women in America, or you faced more challenges being a Nigerian entrepreneur as well?
Yes, definitely. I think as number one, there are four things against, I would say for me. I'm a woman, I'm Black, I'm Nigerian, I'm an immigrant. So you can imagine, especially in the business world, how that could affect you immensely. Even with my invention, I went to a meeting with mostly Caucasian men and Middle Eastern women and men, and one of them asked me and said, "Are you sure you invented that?"
Wow.
Yeah. And, but funny enough, you expect those things, and so you just ignore them. So I said, yeah, obviously. Does it seem like something that somebody else would have invented? Maybe somebody, I just didn't know that maybe somebody, and he kind of got confused. And so I'm saying that to say you will never be expected to do beyond what the people of your skin color is expected to do. Yeah. You're expected to be below average. You're expected to be essentially maybe stupid. You're expected to be on welfare. Whatever expectations are out there that people expect of people of color. And as an African, you're expected to not be smart, because that's not the norm with the society. But the amazing thing is we're one of the smartest people alive, especially Nigerians. I watched a video. I think we surpassed Chinese with education in America, where we study more than them, we're smarter than them, we have the highest scores in SAT and all of those. And so if you think about it, there are so many ways that you could define yourself by the limitations that they set out there, but I don't even think about it. I'm Black, but it doesn't bother me. I'm a woman, but I don't even think that it could hold me back. So because I tell my little boys, I tell them, you always have to go for, they're 6 and 5, no, one is 8 and one is 6. You don't give up, you keep working, you're your own individual. You can't be defined by what people think of you. So it is difficult, you may not get certain things. I believe that my face being the face of Obella has probably reduced maybe some things that maybe would have gotten as far as investments, but it doesn't really bother me.
That's great that it doesn't like keep you fearless.
Yeah.
And striving hard. Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing, like what you're doing in a sense is you're, adding to that effort of breaking stereotypes, which I think is happening right now in society. About time.
Right.
I read recently there was a girl that was accepted to all the Ivy League colleges. Well, guess where she's from? Nigeria.
Yeah, it's kind of expected. It's kind of expected, and it's important because, and that's why, for parents out there, they're probably concerned about, okay, how do I raise my child to be like this multi-talented individual that is smart, that is well balanced? Because honestly, you have an American child that is essentially Nigerian, was born here, but the parents are Nigerian, there's this confusion because you know, there's a culture and then you don't know how to act in school, and so they're conflicted. And so if you're a parent out there that you're concerned about your child, maybe you feel like they're not behaving correctly, or trust me, just teach them, be there, listen to them, pay attention to them. I think some of us will work so hard, and it's okay because we have bills, but spend time with them to learn more about it, because we don't want our kids joining the wrong gang. We don't want them going to jail. We want them to be that, you know, all-star kid. And I pray that's, you know, that people are able to spend more time. I think for me, my parents, not that my parents had that much time for me, but they've always told me I could do anything. Maybe also in the way they behaved around me. And so that helped me become, I guess, the woman I am today, so.
All right, so Vivian, wow, we've touched upon some great points so far. So now, what would be your advice to parents living in America raising second-generation Nigerian American kids?
Yeah, I work with the youth. I've always done that. Even at the age of 17, I worked with, you know, the youth. And I believe that there's this conflict with a Nigerian child growing up in a Nigerian home, but having to step out of that little world in your little home or your apartment to somewhere else, to school or to hang out with friends. And there's a divide because you're teaching them something at home and then they're learning something else outside. And so there's this conflict within them. They're essentially confused. And so when you see them acting out and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you feel like they're trying to be someone else, you know, yeah, you should be worried, but in a way that you communicate, you start communicating with them. When was the last time you spent time with your children? And you may say, okay, well, I have to work, I have to pay the bills, I have to work 12 hours shift. Even if it's an hour a day, you just sit down and you talk, because when they're in school, and I substitute sometimes at A Levi ISD, and I've noticed that the kids can be really mean. And they call each other names, and they tell your child maybe that he's stinky. They may call him African booty scratcher.
Oh, yeah, that happens to me when I'm
yes.
I got that.
and they make fun of his name, and sometimes a child may even come up and say, oh, I don't really like my name. No, you have to now instill in them that your name is amazing. If your name is Chinyere, that's your name. It's amazing. Tell them the meaning. Tell them how important it is. I think also just making them understand that as a Nigerian American, the expectations are completely different. I think another thing that I do in my family, the first of the year we do gather and we create like our yearly goals. And so everyone will come up with the goals for the year individually and collectively. And another thing that we do is we have a mission statement. So do you have a mission statement for your family? Just like you would create a mission statement for a business, create one for your family. Write out a vision statement for your family. And then you could blow that up. And if there are rules in your family, I say our family is OKOJIE clan. And so our clan, we have a goal. So OKOJIE clan, don't go out and do this. I tell my little boy, don't take anything from anyone in school. So if he comes home with anything that doesn't belong to him, guess what? He comes to me and says, oh, mommy, my friend gave me this, but guess what I tell him? Return it back. I don't care if your friend gave it to you. It's not yours. What do we do in this family? We don't take things from anybody, you know. And those type of things resonate with a child. No matter how old, no matter how young they are, they'll remember that. So when they go out, let them be kids. Let them be a teenager. Teenagers may act stupid sometimes. I once was a teenager, and I wanted to do, but don't. I think sometimes the problem is we parents, first generation, we want to act holier than thou. Like we've never had struggles as a teenager. We've never had conflicts as a teenager. We've never wanted to experiment with certain things. Number one, communicate with them. Sit down. I tell my husband sometimes it's good to just take maybe an hour a day and have a me time with one of your children. How are you communicating with them? How are you disciplining them? Is it that they come home, they tell you something, you start beating them, or you start just yelling and screaming? That doesn't get through. They're humans as well. So talk to them like an adult. I read a story. A pastor had published a book with me, and he told me about his dad and how his dad raised them. So he told me that, and it's in the book as well, The OKOJIE Legacy, that's the name of the book. And the dad raised amazing children. They're all grown. They have their own families. Some have grandchildren, their own grandchildren already. But he said one of the brothers came home drunk one day. What would you expect a typical African dad to do?
Go and fetch me a cane.
Thank you. Yeah. But guess what he did? He allowed the guy to come in. The guy, threw up, did all that, whatever. Didn't touch him, didn't say anything. And all of the rest of them were wondering,
where's that beating?
Can you imagine, where's the beating? But he didn't say anything. So the next day, he called the son privately into his room and spoke to him like a person. Not yelling, not saying, you shouldn't have done that, No, gave him reasons why drinking and getting wasted. Already the boy already found out that getting wasted, kid, it's not the most, fun thing to do. Gave him reasons why, kind of spoke to him, not in front of the siblings, not in front of everybody, just privately, and awarded him that respect. And guess what? That was the last day that man drank anything. He never drank again. And so when he would want to talk to his kids, he would take them privately. So I do that with my little boys. My son is 7. I would take him into the room and I would talk to him. Not in front of his brother. I would really talk to him and he would cry. So you would understand that they have a soul, they have a spirit. So speaking to them in a way that touches them, I think, is important. So communication, not being too busy for them because they will think you don't care about them. And letting them just be and instilling the right morals in them. Yeah. So I honestly hope it helps. Praying is just not enough. You have to put in the work.
Well, those are definitely good tips, and I'm sure your sons will grow up to be great.
I pray so. I mean, no one comes from heaven with a manual on how to raise children. And you may do all that, and you may do all you can, and you may sometimes not get the best results, but we all pray for the best. I turned out well. I believe I know my parents tried their best, and you do your best as long as you're not neglecting them. I think that's where because if you don't teach them at home, trust me, somebody else will.
Teach them.
Yeah. Somebody else
will teach them.
Life will teach them. And you won't like the lessons they learn.
Well, those are definitely great tips. I will apply that to myself too later on when I have a family and kids.
Yes, too. Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now let's talk about, you're also committed to helping people find their purpose and pursue that purpose. And then being that you are an entrepreneur right now, what advice would you offer to potential entrepreneurs, those that are that are working full-time in an unrelated career, but they happen to have an idea, such as your app, something they want to kind of venture out into? So how would you suggest they go about accomplishing that? Do they quit their job, keep their day job?
Keep your day job. Yeah. Keep your day job, please. If you're watching, it's hard. Being an entrepreneur is not. It's not easy. You have to work more hours, but it's worth it if that's what you're passionate about. I tell people all the time that not all of us can be a business owner, and not all of us could pay that price to be an entrepreneur. But if you're passionate about something, and it may not just be entrepreneurship, it could be you want to sing, or you want to write a book, or you want to feed the homeless, or give back to orphanages, maybe in different countries. what can you do as a working class woman or man? There's a lot you can do. So number one, if you're clueless about that thing that you're about to do, I'm a research queen, so I research. Google is your best friend. Google is your best friend. Yeah. So Google, how do I do this? And Google will give you some answers, and you'll be able to find out more about it. Research, look for people who are doing the same thing as well. And that's the first step. And then find out how can you fix this or balance this with your work life. How will it not interfere with your work life? So having a balance. So for instance, after work, you could do a little bit, if you spend maybe 1 or 2 hours on that thing, let's say, I don't know, for instance, your book, if you want to write a book, if you spend 1 or 2 hours after work writing, even if it's 2 pages, it's worth it. Because before you know it, it may not happen within a few months, but a year or 2, you would have that book. I think we feel like we're absolutely limited to what we can do because we have other obligations, but I honestly also believe that we have 24 hours. We've been given 24 hours, and there's an hour or 2 a day or a few minutes that you could dedicate to your purpose. Like I was saying earlier, I don't think I was called to come, get married, have children, and die. I believe that I've been called for more, and I believe that you've been made for more. And so with that in mind, what are you doing to when people die, you know, no one will publish their bank statement in the obituary. No one. Have you ever gone to a funeral and you see, oh, this person has this much in their account? No one cares. Yeah. What they write is, this person impacted lives, this person did this, and this one did that. So it's more about what you give out of yourself. Your life is a service, so what are you doing? And so it's not about money all the time. Who are you impacting? What are you sowing? What seeds are you sowing? And you go to the graveyard, that's like the richest place on earth, because guess what? There are songs that were never sang, there are books that were never written, there were businesses and inventions that were never created. And so what are you doing with your life presently with the hands you've been dealt? And you may tell me, oh, well, you know, I don't have time, and America is just so hard. Yes, it is hard, but there are people who are doing something out of the lemons they've been given, I would say. So yeah, I want to encourage you to just focus on finding your purpose, find out what it is, and pray about it, and just really think about, what would my legacy be? What do I want my children? I started a business, and my children will be the one reminding me every day and would say, Mommy, it should be in Walmart. Oh, we should be here. Did you tell this? And they're 7.
Wow, but they're like your little personal assistant.
Yes, and they love my products, and they are like my number one. And so you have to think about that. Live your purpose. That's the,
wow.
Yeah, that's it.
That's definitely very encouraging.
Yeah.
Hear that, viewers? So yeah, if there's any goal that you've had on your mind for a while now, definitely pursue it, and reach out to Vivian. So as well, yeah. And definitely be someone to coach you along the way. Yeah, and thank you for being here today to inspire us, to motivate us to continue pursuing our dreams and goals.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, and if you want to find any information about the app or the books, or even maybe book her to come and speak to your group or your business, please visit the website. Can you please?
So my personal website is www.vivianokoje.com, and you could also find me on Facebook, hashtag or the Vivian Okoje or Vivian Alebio. I'm also on Instagram, and yeah, those are. But for my business page is eleviv.co.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you everyone for watching Diaspora Spotlight today. We'll see you next time.